folks, before we get into this video today, I just want to give you a warning, a caution. What I'm about to show you on my maintenance of my FX6 is not for beginners. This is for somebody that has a tank that's well seasoned. Also, I have redundancy. I have multiple filters on my tanks, so I can safely do what I'm going to do. So if you're a beginner, this video is probably not for you. But if you're looking for efficiency, and that's what it's all about for me, because I have multiple tanks that I got to maintain. As you can see right in the background right now, I'm doing a water change on this tank. So I have to be efficient. I try to be more efficient because I don't want to spend my whole life doing maintenance every single day. So just giving you a heads up, just a little warning, you know, this video that we're fixing to get into is the method that I use to be faster at getting my FX6 cleaned, maintained, put back together, and put back on my tank as soon as possible. I can do it within 20 minutes at the most. If I have to do it the normal way, it's going to be an hour or more. So anyway, that's what I want to talk about. So let's get into the video. Thank you. All right, folks, today is maintenance day on my FX6, and as you notice, it's pretty nasty, and all these chambers are pretty nasty. But let me tell you what I do, because I have redundancy. So if you only have one filter on your tank, then probably this is not the right way to do it for you. But for me, I have redundancy, so I'm not scared of that. So behind me, I have a set of clean sponges extra for my FX6. And what I'll do is I will take all these sponges out and put these clean sponges in. I'll rinse my biomedia in these little sponges in the center out. I have a brand new pinky pad, whatever you want to call it, and that'll go on the top. And then we'll put it back together and we'll end up putting it back on the tank. So let's get to it. Once again, I just throw these nasty things to the side. And this is the pinky floss. That'll be garbage. Sponges, more sponges. And you can see how nasty this is. Now let me get my hose here real quick. And all I'm going to do is just spray this baby off. So, I mean, it's not perfectly clean, but that's good enough for what I need. So what I'll do is I'm going to put a brand new clean sponge in here, just like normal. I keep an extra spare. I have two FX6s total, and this one is on my 125. It was on my 75 gallon, and when I took it off my 75 and put it on the 125, I didn't clean it. I just stuck it right on the 125 because it was a brand new setup and I wanted it to get seated. So I did that. So this has had quite a bit of gunk between two tanks, basically. So there you go. That's the new sponges in there. And now the next thing I'll do is I'll just take these sponges that we got here, and I'm just going to spray them. And you can just see the gunk coming out of them. Now, a lot of folks will tell you got to do, you know, oh, you got to do it in tank water. Yeah, I don't ever do tank water. My tanks are so seasoned that I don't have to worry about crashing my cycle or anything like that. And even my 125 with changing out all of these sponges like that, you know, a lot of folks would say, oh, you're going to crash your cycle. Yeah, not really. Like I say, I have redundancy. I have a Title 110 also on that tank. And then, you know, the 125 plus all the beneficial bacteria is also all over the plants, the substrate, and the glass, and everything else in your doggone tank. So it's really not an issue for me. So I cleaned that sponge, throw it down in here, and I just want you to notice I put the egg crate facing up because the water flow in the FX6 comes from the top down, right? It comes up the sides, you know, through these sponges and then down. So you want to get as much surface material as you can. I got a lot of junk here. All right, let's get the next one. As you can see, there's a good amount of junkage in here. And that's plenty good enough. And then I will take my pinky floss, sorry about that, and I'll just throw that up on top. And my top tray is done. So I can set it to the side for now. Now let's do the middle tray. Same thing, just take the sponges out, throw them to the side, clean them, and then throw them in the washing machine actually. And see, I got biomedia in here, more biomedia in there. All I'm going to do is just rinse the biomedia off and rinse this baby off. Alright, so this baby's done, and look at the biomedia. So I'm just going to spray off the bag, throw that back in there. Same way with this guy. And let me rinse this guy off. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Now, let's get my sponge washed out here. And I set a timer on my phone, on my calendar, for every 6 months to check my filters. And so today is that day, and to do this one, my one that's on my 180-gallon tank. I did it a few months back, but it has some time before it needs to be checked. And one of the things I do to help keep these FX6s running longer and not having as much where you don't have to change them as often or clean them as often is to put a pre-filter on the intake tube. And if you want to see how I did that, Ben Ochar actually did a video on how to do it, and I had one of my subscribers that was asking how to do it, and I kind of referred him there, but I guess he couldn't find it. So, and I couldn't find it either. I know he did one. So I ended up making one of my own. So there is one on my channel on how to do a pre-filter for an FX6, because I get rid of that big, you know, big round intake thing at the end of the tube, and I just drill holes in the extension part where that piece connects to, and then I just take I got a Aquarium Co-op, a big large pre-filter sponge, and slide it up on there. I took a piece of hose and cut it and stuck it on that tube so it makes it a little wider, and that big large sponge will just stay right up on there. All right, so number 2 is done. So we'll set him up here. Let's get the third one. And more sponges, more bio. Throw these sponges out. Throw these sponges out. Oh my gosh, this is pretty nice. All right, that's pretty much clean. Let's get the biomedia cleaned out here. And once again, I'm just using straight tap water, you know, right out of my garden hose, so it's not going to hurt my cycle, trust me. And then here's a thinner sponge. Let me move this stuff up here first. Oh yeah. So this is the bottom tray, and this is going to be the worst one. This is the one that's going to be really super nasty. And what I like to do is I like to put this really fine filter at the very base. This is the bottom. And this helps keep gunk out of your pump and, you know, off your biomedia as much as possible too, but that's what I like to do. I mean, people do it many different ways, but there's all sorts of ways to do things. Well, my grass will like all this crap. It'll help it grow good. Alright folks, so that's that one. So let's put some new sponges in here. Alright folks, so that's the bottom tray, middle tray, top tray. Let's put our handles back on. And there you have it. That's my quick and easy way, instead of having to really spend a whole bunch of time cleaning these filters before you get the before you get this thing put back together and back on your tank. So last thing I got to do is spray this off real good. Spray out the intake. Get all that gunk out of there as you can. So one thing I'm going to do that I'm not going to show you, I got this, it's a food grade silicone grease or something like that. I'm going to lube the O-rings on this thing, put it back together, and then put water back into it and put it back on the tank. I'm not going to go through that whole process. It's pretty simple. You just lube the O-rings real quick, and I'm not going to walk through cleaning all this mess here. I'm going to do that off camera, and then these will end up going into the wash machine and be bleached and washed after I spray most of the gunk out of them. But anyway, that's how I do my FX6s quickly. As you can see, it only took about roughly 15 minutes to swap everything out, rinse it off, and put it back together. Where if I didn't have extra sponges, like, I'd spend 30-40 minutes trying to clean these guys out, and I just don't feel like doing that before I put my filter back on there. I want to get my filter back on the tank as soon as possible. So anyway, folks, that's my maintenance for my FX6. This is how I do it. Doesn't mean that's how you do it. Anyway, I hope you like, share, and subscribe, and y'all have a great day. Bye.